The audio on my last video was horrible, so if at first you don't see, do it again. So Jesus himself has always been about his Father's business. You can always catch him at a church or synagogue somewhere, schooling rabbis and taking all types of names, right? So in his last days, he was stressed because he knew what was coming. The rabbis will go ahead and get him, and eventually he'll be betrayed by his group and be given up to be crucified. So he goes to where he can go in and get a little bit of peace. He goes to the church. And what happened was, he's sitting in church, minding his own business, and he looks over, and there are soldiers that are gambling and using all types of pigeons to really just barter in exchange. Jesus doesn't like that, not one little bit. So he goes ham. He takes a chair and breaks it over somebody. And then after that, he grabs a whip and he starts whipping people out of the building. Then he gives the coldest line. "You have turned my Father's house into a den of thieves." What Jesus was feeling was rage. He was feeling apathy. He was feeling what it was like to be a human being. Because can you imagine how it was? This man is huffing, puffing, and calming down while onlookers are looking at him. "Jesus, you all right?" And it's only through that type of experience, being pushed and pulled emotionally, experiencing fear, angst, confusion, being tempted in the desert, all of this to get him to this moment. Now, the Bible is right. Jesus was a deity. He's able to touch and heal people. And eventually, it's kind of like a sin eater type of position if you think about it. Because the man is healing people, but also taking in all their sins. Just a theory here. I think that's the reason why he doubled down on his mission. I need to get up out of here. 33 years is enough. He's preached. He's healed. He's brought about light to an otherwise, dark world. And if you notice, all of this is never enough. So a little bit of it was possibly the man may have been losing faith as well. Because on his last days on the cross, he says, my God, why do you abandon me?" Because even though you know the road, even though you know where you're going, it could never be a solid thought in your mind that really just brings you comfort. And Jesus needed to experience that. He needed to report that. Because even though angels may experience just a plain effect feeling, they don't experience sadness or happiness. So having someone go down, experience all those feelings, and explain to them, look, they're lost. They have all these feelings. God imbued all these things into them. And sometimes they're going to be their worst enemies. Have some grace on them. I now know. I can't sit back and judge them because I felt it too. I know what it's like to go to be the Prince of Peace while sitting in a war zone. But he would never going to get that position if it was just a God that sat on the throne. He needed to come down here and see what was happening in order to really just understand. Otherwise, it would be easy just going and just destroy everything, just like he did the first time. Wipe it all off the map. But there's good and evil here. So I think his presence here just bought us another chance.